there. And I will briefly tell you, although we are all familiarized with these all outcomes and is associated with such kind of training programs for a very, very long time, especially in e-learning. So he is basically trained in agriculture engineering. Sir did his master's and doctorate in agriculture engineering with farm machinery specialization from IIT Kharagpur. He has obtained a formal PG diploma also in e-learning from IGNOU in 2014. So Dr. Murthy has 31 years of experience in teaching, research and extension activities in agriculture. He worked as assistant professor at IIT Kharagpur during 2002-3 before joining now. So currently he is principal in scientific at now. He administers teaching learning developments in now. Also conducted workshops at various academic and research institutions across India on e-learning. So education technology, learning design, e-assessment, etc. A lot of areas. So he developed self-learning materials for various programs in now. Dr. Murthy is playing a key role in designing, development, and deployment of MOOC in now. So today he will be speaking with us on MOOCs only. He is in e-learning since 2007, more than 15 years, and he introduced the concept of Moodle in agriculture in 2007 and trained more than 2,000 persons in it. Based on his training, entire UG courses of agriculture and its subdomains have e-courses in Moodle format, which have been downloaded worldwide. He established an innovative technology-enhanced learning laboratory at NAM in 2014 and has been spearheading the digital content development for various types of education formats like vocational, distance, online, and MOOCs. He used Moodle as MOOC platform and run many courses with high completion rates. This was recognized as one of the top 5 technologies under education division during the year 2023. So friends, we are very fortunate and we welcome Dr. Murthy here today. And on behalf of National Academy of Agriculture Sciences, sir, it's our pleasure and honor to welcome you. And we are very thankful you accepted our invitation and you could make it to us. Thank you, sir. Yes.
Morning, everyone. In fact, I thank Madam for inviting and be a part of this very important assignment given to all of you. One of the teachers for our new initiative. It will be my pleasure to share. In fact, I can't call it like in a presentation. I can only say that my experiences, in the journey of e-learning the last 15 years. And probably some of them may be of relevance to you when you really think about, implementing some of the courses, especially social science in particular. I can tell you, it can go in a completely online mode. That's what I feel generally. So to start with, I have seen your program schedule also. It is well designed. In fact, on these 4 days, we have been more on content creation and different types of tools, and probably had some kind of hands-on practice also. And that really is good for me to start with, because what I'm going to talk about is the introduction to MOOCs, which is nothing but a culmination of what you have done so far. You must have now understood how to use some digital tools and make them useful and in your regular teaching. In my opinion, technology in education can be of 4 types. One is to use, the hardware come software for teaching. That is, for example, your interactive whiteboard is there. Your touch screens are there. Or you actually use it like along with Zoom and other kind of platforms. It's a combination of a hardware and a software. So that is for teaching purpose. Once the teaching happens, the second part is how to make it a completely permanent in nature. That is how to capture that into a kind of a format. That can be a typical thing is a video format. Once it becomes a video format, how do you add value to that? Most of us do think that making a video is the end of the day, everything. No, that's not. In fact, that's the beginning of the entire story. When you go for the video, after video, you have to add a lot of elements into it. Something like, you make a base curry, and after that, you add a lot of spices to make it more and more tastier, and also different for different to suit different contexts. So some of the things is, now you can make a video interactive. It's not simply like click and be happy with that. So you have to make that the learner to follow your lecture. So one is you have to be a good teacher, and subject also has to be equally good. Sometimes few things will not be in our hand. So in that case, what happens is you have to make need as the important driver for learning. That is, you can make some of the things, build in something, some kind of interactivity into the videos. That is your third part. That means the technology for refinement of your digital content. Once you make a digital content, you have to add a lot of refinements into it. And it should look good also. And it should be very focused. Mind you, when you think about designing a course for online learning, your learner is not at your disposal and mercy. So that means if he doesn't like you, he will switch off. That's it. As simple as that. So you cannot beat around the bush. At least you are here by force. You're all in front of me. So you can't say no to me. But it's not showing your online learning. So in that case, as a teacher, you will have a real tough challenge. How do you make the content in a very, like something like giving like a tablet or a tonic. So only that much you have to give, which is actually required for the student. So generally, my experience is, if there is a 1 hour of classroom lecture, it generally boils down to 10 to 12 minutes of active lecture. That's many teachers came to my lab, which is right in your screen. You see, this is my lab where I develop the content. We have a interactive whiteboard and a lot of additions like a camera, automated cameras, by which I capture different perspectives of a teacher. And the moment a teacher walks in and takes lecture, we get almost 90% ready of the lectures. So these are the things we have to, when I told many teachers who came here to take classes, sir, I used to ask them, what is your, how many minutes you are going to take? So I said, he says 1 hour lecture. So can you condense it to 10 to 15 minutes? If I say that one, the teacher will feel very offended. It is not possible. My lecture cannot be, curtailed to not even 15, can't be curtailed even to 30 minutes. But afterwards, I used to say, yes, sir, that's fine. Just have a first go, because it's an empty classroom. You're going to simply talk to an empty audience. You take it. And afterwards, you just review yourself. So once they started taking class, there are no questions asked. And you don't have to repeat the things. There are no mannerisms. So suddenly they started realizing, this fellow has told the right thing, and it has come down to 30 minutes. So I used to play that video to them again. And again, I used to tell them, these are the places probably don't have to really re-emphasize, because the person anyway is going to repeat if he doesn't understand. So once that happened, my experience said it's a 1:4 kind of ratio. A 1 hour lecture boils down to 15 minutes at the most, maximum. Suppose there is a derivation, if there is an engineering lecture is there, mathematics is there, maybe some derivations may take a little more time, but otherwise, generally it can compress to that one. So the third is very, very important. The fourth one is this, that is MOOCs. That is, MOOCs is nothing but where you bring all your content, something like you prepared a dish, you prepared everything, now you are serving it onto your dining table. So this MOOCs is a place where you bring all the content that you have developed. It may be the content that you have developed, it may be the content that you want to supplement, it may be some activities that you want a learner has to take, like assignments, like a discussion forum, like a self-evaluation test, like a quiz, everything. So you are bringing all these items onto your dining table. The dining table that's what we call it as a MOOC. So most of us, but now I don't have to tell. Many time earlier I used to ask what MOOC stands for. A few people used to answer, but over time now everyone knows what a MOOC is all about. So basically, if you look into this, it's an online course. Mainly, why this every word is having its own meaning. Mainly meant for a large number of learners. And one of a few things, it can be offered anytime and anywhere. It can be administered, and this the credit base. You see the another red letter, this one. That is where we are really going to make an impact of this. Now, it is not a kind of informal learning. It is going to be a formal learning. You have to dress it into a kind of a credit-based process. Now, in our system, we have a 2+1, 3+0, etc. courses. Now, can we administer these things into this kind of a credit-based process? That's what actually gets into the MOOCs and all. Now, if you see globally, there are many companies, like I say company because it's basically MOOCs is a business. It started like a business. It's not a philanthropic activity. So there are many ET companies like Coursera, edX, Udemy, Udacity, Converse, etc. Their purpose is not to serve the society. Yeah, that maybe that's under the garb of that they might have started their business. So they used to bring a lot of top-notch universities and then bring some handpick and they handpick some of the faculty, and then they ask them to offer some courses, and that used to be given in online. So to the teachers, what they used to provide is the technology they used to provide, how to record that lectures, this and all they used to provide. Now, once this becomes like a course, now there is a kind of a business proposition between the developer and the companies. So if the course is very good, there used to be thousands of learners all over the world. So then whatever little certification fee that is being charged, that used to be shared. So here there is a kind of a business model also that I'm going to talk about that because I myself have been a part of that and I can give my own experience into that. So, but this Coursera, etc., and all, they started way back in 2011, 2012, etc. But in India, it took quite a lot of time. I was actually following this entire movement right from the day it was born. But when I was looking in Indian scenario, it didn't really pick up till 2017 or something like that. In 2016, actually, Swayam is supposed to have been launched, but it took a little bit of time. But now today we have a platform which is our own Indian platform developed by MHRD. It's called as Swayam. Of course, Swayam means in our own parlance it is self. So here the learning is by self. But otherwise stands for study webs of active learning for young aspiring. So here the MOOC platform is in India, which is actually supporting many of the Indian institutions, wherein the teachers are developing the courses, which can be taken by students from anywhere. Now, if you look into this, the anatomy of this MOOC, each letter has got its own significance. M stands for massive. So there are some courses which actually have got as many as 50,000 students. Can you think about a classroom of, not even 50,000? Can you think about 100 or 200 classrooms? It is very, very big. It's very difficult to handle. Now, in MOOCs, massive is having a lot of importance because the number has to be big. Then only you can call it as a MOOC. Otherwise, it is simply you can call it as an online course. Now, I run MOOCs from now. We run for my maximum number is 2,773. So that is the number as of now for me. So we ran a course which is having a strength of 2,773. Even that is not a bad number at least. If you're comparing to 50,000 by Coursera and all, it's a humble beginning to start with. But it depends on the demand. The kind of course that you have. If it is really having a good number of people to take. For example, in UG, there is a subject called Entrepreneurship Development and Communication Skills. Maybe you must have already seen that as a part of your syllabus. This course is common for all the disciplines. Veterinary, dairy technology, agriculture engineering, agriculture, etc. All are having this. If you can really attempt a good course on this, I'm sure you will be having your learners minimum of 40,000. Minimum. Now, I'm not taking into consideration this private universities and all. If the private universities, agriculture universities, which are having around 500 students, 1,000 students in their colleges, your canvas will become bigger. So that's my gut feeling is this. If you develop some good courses which are amenable for MOOC, you are going to have a very good number of learners, at least in UG courses. Then the second letter O, that is open. It's meant for, in fact, the philosophy of MOOC is it does not debar anyone from taking a course. No, there is no prerequisite. For example, Dr. Karan is an engineer. Tomorrow he gets interested in learning microbiology. And if there is a microbiology course being offered in any MOOC platform, they should not say Mr. Dr. Karan is an engineer, he cannot enter into this course. Nothing. If he is having interest, that is enough for him. And after entering into that one, it is up to him whether he likes it or whether he can survive that evaluation. Suppose he is interested in a certification, then you have to really go through the fire. In fact, my MOOCs are generally very tough. In fact, in NAM, when we offer a MOOC, in the beginning it was a bit easy, but over time I started understanding how the learners are fooling me around. Impersonations, all these things used to happen, and I started making evaluation very tough. If somebody is interested in certification, you have to go through the fire. So otherwise, I'm not interested whether he is having first class in BTech agriculture engineering, then only he can enter into this, and nothing like that. So this O is open for anyone. The only thing is you need to have interest in that. Then third letter again, it's an online. That means offered on exclusively through internet. In fact, there is no paperwork at all. So your material is through the portal. There will be videos. Assignments are online. In fact, I conduct even descriptive tests through online. Some of my residential courses, I don't call it as a MOOC. The residential course that are offered by my students in PG diploma in agribusiness management, even my descriptive questions are offered through online. Most of us, we think that online means it is only MCQs, multiple choice questions, etc. But we do offer even descriptive. And when we do that one, I found really many advantages being a teacher, because a lot of quality of evaluation is there. I can show you, if the time permits, my website, wherein I can show you these things in actual practice. So online means everything is online, and absolutely there is no contact with the teacher also. I don't know if any of you know me as a MOOC offerer, but otherwise in many universities where I go, many students, they come to me, say, sir, I'm your student, I took your MOOCs, and this is how I know you. That's the only thing. Otherwise, there is no physical interface between me and my learners. Then the last one, course, is really having the meaning now. Now, this MOO is of time, but are we going to make it like a course? When you make it like a course, then you need to have a structure. Weekly, how many lectures? Nothing but your blueprint of your course outline. How many lectures in each week you are going to offer, and how are you going to plan them? The most important thing is, how are you planning to evaluate them? So if you can bring these things onto the table and give it good shape, then it becomes a MOOC by itself. That's the the basic philosophy of a MOOC. Then why MOOC now? Why there is so much noise around this? Now, one is in 2020 happened for two reasons, which is actually a catalyst for the online learning. The one catalyst is, we all know, COVID happened, and suddenly we jumped on to Zoom, etc., Zoom, Google Meet, etc. And they were already there before. Only thing is, the necessity was created only after this COVID had happened. The other driver is NEP. If you look into this particular thing here, some of the important things, like section 9.3 talks about the online education and ODM. That's an important thing to enhance the access, equity, and inclusion through a range of measures. So one of them being online learning. The other thing is, they're also contemplating to increase the gross enrollment ratio to 50% through some measures like online courses and digital repositories. And also they talk about credit-based recognition of MOOCs. So this is very important. I'll make it very simple. Let's say tomorrow IRA they are offering a BSc course from Delhi, and there is a student from Krida-based institute where some students are there. Now these students can be shared across between IRA Delhi and Krida at Hyderabad, and not necessarily only these two. Even some state agriculture universities also.
The high of 88 and a low of 80. Due to the current humidity.
Is that fine? Yes. So the thing is, there are no boundaries here. Now, so when you offer this as a credit-based courses, a credit-based course offered by our hub can be taken by a student from, let's say, Acharya N.G. Ranga Agriculture University of Andhra Pradesh. they can take. I mean, that is actually, we really have to now look in that kind of scenarios. Now, we cannot really confine, my class is this, my students are this. No, you can really take your courses across to different boundaries around. So that is why they're talking about credit-based recognition of the class. Now, the MOOCs is going to be, earlier it was only meant for my personal interest. I want to hone my skills. I want to enhance my kind of, my other, skill sets. Then I used to take MOOC. But now, MOOC is really becoming a kind of a course. It's a part of our syllabus. So that's why they're talking about under NAP too. And then the another
say in that case, whether enrollment ratio will increase or will it be same because they have enrolled somewhere.
Yeah.
And then again they are.
No. See, your enrollment is there only. It will be you are a part of that university only. But suppose tomorrow I am offering a course, so you can register my course, and I will provide you a certificate. This certificate you have to claim in your university, where you are studying. Yeah, that will be anyway. I'm talking. That will be in a DigiLocker. So only thing is you have to provide. Yes, hey, look, I have done my course from Acharya Engineering University. Please give me 2+1 credits from your university. So now they are bound to, take it and they have to accept it.
Credit bank.
Yes, it's a bank, exactly. That's why it's called as the ABC.
Sir,
Academic Bank of Credit. Yes, sir.
yeah, but who can offer this kind of MOOC certificates? Means it would be from any of the universities or maybe a institution like now.
No, in agriculture we are no. See, I'll can we have this at the end of medical, because some of the answer will be a part of this lecture, so I can provide so that we'll have a comprehensive discussion. Yeah, that will be answered in my subsequent slides. Okay. So if you see in this entire slide, the basic thing is the NEP talks about lays a lot of emphasis on education, in which the digital education is one of the main catalysts. And the last one, as you can see here, Academic Bank of Credit, that's how it is going to happen. Tomorrow, let's say X university is offering a course, and that was taken by a student of Y university. The student of Y university can claim the 2+1 credits, and then through this ABC, that is called Academic Bank of Credit. That's how it's going to happen. And there are some kind of guidelines for that. These guidelines are this, that is UGC is recommending around 40% of the courses can be done through online. That's the UGC's recommendation. They're telling us as much as 40%. Now our own BSMA, they're now just started a beginning. They made a beginning in this. They're talking around 20% can be taken through online in PG level. So we are actually making a very slow beginning. Maybe it's a cautious beginning. I don't say slow. It's that we are making a cautious beginning towards going online. So at PG level, 20% of the courses can be taken online. That's already GSMA recommendation. Now, so these two, if you look into this, the NEP, UGC, and BSMA, and COVID. Now, all these things, they point to one thing, that the courses can be taken through online, and the technology is one of the important things. Now, is this the only thing? Is this the only driver? Now, if you look into this MOOCs, there are a lot of advantages. It provides a better quality beyond universities. So most of the material, you get really good. If you see the Coursera and a lot of very good quality material will be there, and these material are done by some of the best professors in the some of the best universities. So it's a quality is very good in that, and then there can be a countrywide collaboration. Simple thing. Suppose let's say there is a kind of one exercise given by you as a teacher. That exercise can be given to the student from across the different universities as a group when it is offered through a MOOC kind of. That means there will be a lot of cross-learning also can happen under this MOOC platform. It's not simply offering a course. A lot of peer learning and cross-learning does happen in a kind of a MOOC. Then, and most of the courses can be used for through MOOC mode, but I can't say how under 100%. Some of the courses may be offered through a blended mode, especially where there are practicals, and many people ask me this question. So can we replace every course? It's not possible. Not at this point of time, because we are still working on our VR and AR kind of virtual reality, augmented reality. It is going to take time, but there are some courses which can be readily, it can be doled out into this kind of online mode. Then, from your point, you are all teachers now. I can tell you, it will save a lot of faculty time for you, because your lectures are already there. You have recorded them and put them into the platform and ask them to watch the lecture and come to the class. That's what we call the flipped classroom. I don't know if anyone has talked about it. You do the classwork at home and homework in the class. That's a simple principle about that. So that means you give your lectures and then let the students go through that. They may have some they may have some notes in that. They can come to the classroom and get it clarified. And also, if you are a good teacher, what you can really think about is at the end of the lecture, you put a teaser in. Teaser in a sense, now that you have understood this, now you do this exercise. Now let them do that and come to the class. If they cannot do, you can help them in the class. So that is the purpose of this kind of things. You will have more time to interact with the students. Because in the classroom, what happens? When you start teaching, your entire 45 minutes or 1 hour will be spent only on teaching. It will be like a flow in one direction, unidirectional flow. But the students may have so many doubts in the process, but that you will not really have any time to address that time. So when you think about these kind of innovative things, it really saves a lot of time. And more important thing is, I myself underwent this. When I take a class and record and listen to myself, I understand how bad I am as a teacher. I start understanding, oh, come on, I'm saying like this, is it me? And then it will start, it's a kind of a introspective process can happen. And also your review process becomes very easy. Suppose you have recorded a lecture today for chapter 1. Next day you want to go and take the same class. When you listen to this one, within 5 minutes, you can complete your complete review process. You don't really have to go through what exactly you teach in the class. It's something like watching a movie after a long time. And suddenly, after you're watching few scenes, you understand, you suddenly recall what is going to happen next. Right? Your memory links start getting activated and all. So that way, it saves a lot of battle time for you. Then, that's part which I really love in this is, it has so many automated analytics. Behind the screen, so many things do happen. When I put everything into my online platform, I start understanding the student's behavior without asking him, without probing anything. Because there will be so many logs that are coming into the backdrop, through which I can really do a lot of, maybe even I can use artificial intelligence, not at this point of time I'm using, but at least I am seeing how many students are active in my class and how many hours they are spending in my courses. What is the hit pattern? Many a time I am using this to see that I'm not fooled by the learners in my books. Many a time, somebody says, "Sir, I'm watching your lectures every day." So pata chal jayega, because in my logs everything is there and how much minutes they are spending and all. And in the evaluation part also, I can see which particular chapter is having a lot of difficulty. That's where they have scored less marks. That could be there. Because, and without asking a student, these kind of analytics do happen, and we can harness these things for betterment. So this is what this is like a kind of a 1+1 offer. You're offering a course, and alongside you're also getting a lot of intelligence generated. It's what I can call it as a educational intelligence. That kind of data can come. Then the students can participate in courses across the campus. This is what really I'm looking at this point of time for our scenario, because a single teacher, let's say Dr. Karan is a very good teacher in power machinery and power, and he's offering this, and I am in Hyderabad. I should not be deprived of his lectures because I'm in Hyderabad. So here, he is going to become a teacher for all the campuses. So his lectures can be made use of by everyone. And if anything is required, even he can become a teacher for the campuses. Across the campuses, he can become a single teacher. That's one good thing. Then, unbiased and uniform learning. My evaluation, when it happens, it's all done automated. So there's nothing like, I like X student, I'm giving 4 marks, nothing like that. There won't be anything like that. The last one, but not the least one, in fact, that's the first one I can tell you. The revenue generation model can be built through this one. And you can make this activity sustainable. For example, I took this one niche area project 2015. I took this project till 2020. Education division supported me. That's called TELEDGE, Technology Enhanced Learning and Agri-Education. 2020, that's over. And my funding is stopped. But my activity is going great guns even today. Because I'm able to generate the revenue It's not revenue means I'm not asking a big money from anyone. Through a nominal certification fee, I'm able to survive. I can say that my activities are being sustained. I'm able to do that. Even I'm going beyond it. So a very effective revenue generation model also can be generated. And it's like a win-win situation between you and the learner side also. Learners also really don't feel pitched with this kind of system. So that also I'll show you. So coming to MOOC statistics, as of now, around 700 universities all over the world, and there are around 20K courses, and they are really going day by day. The numbers are increasing, and 220 million students across the world. That's actually really speaking a lot about this MOOCs and all. And these are the top MOOC platforms, as you can see, even our Swayam is one among them. And then if you look into this course distribution, as you see here, most of the courses are technology and business, etc. And where do we stand? And I would say this is the biggest opportunity for all of us. We have got almost 100 plus courses in UG level and many courses under PG and PhD. Can we make them at least 20% of that one through online? Because every university is now being asked to, provide the student to take online courses. But where are they? First thing is, question is, okay, we can ask the student to take online courses, but unfortunately, we really don't have that much of content being generated. That's where I do feel that we really have a big opportunity. Some of you can really think about you take classes, but alongside you record them, make it effective videos, put them onto a portal. If you need, we are actually now we have got a complete model we have established. End-to-end process is there where you can showcase your courses and then offer them like a MOOC. We have offered this kind of courses for NDRA very recently, commercial dairy farming. So MOOC in India, as you see here, Swayam is the one. And before that, there are a few attempts like IIT Kanpur had their own MOOCs platform, NCRT had their own platform, and the NPTEL, it's the IIT's initiative. They are on having, and AgMOOCs is also an IIT Kanpur, NPTEL, and Commonwealth of them. There are a few things. And the last one is NAM. NAM, as Madam was telling, it is actually recently it was identified as one of the top 5 technologies. We established a kind of an end-to-end kind of protocol development for offering online courses. And this was started in the year of 2016. And one of the good aspects of my books is we have around 50% completion rates, course completion rates, compared to around less than 10% completion rates worldwide in many courses. Of course, we don't have that much big number. I can't be 50K, but my learners are around 2K. Because this is the very beginning. And this is previous to prior to the COVID. Prior to COVID, there was not much of a awareness about it. But after COVID, really our activities have gone up much. Yeah, just to talk about Swayam platform, I think it may be answering my friend's question just now. See, sir, this is the structure we have. I can show you in the next slide. You can see this. It's a 3-tier structure. Swayam will have at the top level, national coordinators will be there. As you see here, some of the platforms like AACT, NPTEL, UGC, CEC, and what these people do is they actually provide the support to the institutions. Like let's say tomorrow you are from a university. So this university has to send a proposal saying that we have this many courses to be offered through MOOC where we have identified. Please do support us. Then these people will go through that proposals, and these institutes, they're having their own kind of domains. They cannot take everything into their this one. For example, AACT takes the courses for self-paced courses. You can just put it here somewhere here, yeah. And some of the things like engineering is taken up by NPTEL. UGC is meant for PG courses, non-technical, like for example, commerce, arts, etc. And similarly, agriculture is taken partly through IGNOU. IGNOU is supporting some distance education courses, especially in agriculture. Now, we really don't have anything exclusively called as our own. That's what I'm saying. And I see as an opportunity for us. It's a real big opportunity that where really we can jumpstart our activities. There. At the national coordinator level, these are the institutes which are having, specific projects to be approved. And when you next level is principal investigator, or you can call it as SME, subject matter expert. This can be a reputed institution. So there is a university which is having a set of teachers, and they are actually going to compile this many courses we are planning to offer through MOOC. So then they have, when they send it like an expression of interest, EOI, these people do see the merit of that one and then they support. And next level is the teacher, that's where you are all going to follow. That's you have to really develop a complete blueprint of that one, content preparation, curriculum design, and how do you repurpose the content. Suppose if some part of this one can be offered for even other programs, so can we do that one? So these kind of things you have to give, and also you have to provide. University has to provide what is its credit equivalence. Very important thing. When you probably offer a course, if somebody takes it, what is it? Is it equal to 2 plus 0 or is it equal to 2 plus 1? Please, when you are making a course, see that it is a multiple of 16 or 32 or something like that, because it's going to be 2 plus 0 courses. So now I am designing my courses already with that in my mind. So saying that it should fall into this many lectures, etc. So when you do that, you have to give a credit equivalence for each course. That's also important. So this is again very crucial for you, all of you. There will be 4 quadrants of any MOOC. So let's say tomorrow you want to offer your course in the form of an online mode. The very first thing is video. Simple. Your lectures need to be recorded. How do you record? Again, it's a technology based. For example, in my academy, we have a complete lab is there where I bring the teachers, record them in a very high quality, and then I edit them and make it a perfect video. Now, suppose even if you don't have anything, there are many techniques. Maybe some of them must have been already explained to you, like screen capture techniques are there. Suppose you have a laptop. Using a laptop itself, you can create wonderful videos. I don't know if any of you must have tried. PowerPoint itself is having its own built-in video recording.
Is it?
Yes. You need to have that kind of. You please go through that. The simplest thing. My suggestion to you all of you is start simple. Don't really think too big. I need to have an interactive whiteboard, etc., etc. Start very simple. Use your PowerPoint. Within the PowerPoint, for example, a simple thing is this is a whiteboard. As you can just see, I can convert this into. I'm not able to see properly. So very far actually. Can you see point? Yes. Okay, fine. Okay. So here itself, I can mark everything here. You see here, simple thing I can mark. I can remove everything, and I can come back here. Suppose I want to mark here. Now you see here, I can mark everything. Within the PowerPoint, a lot of wonderful tools are there. Simple tools to explain something. And so if you want to remove it, you can remove it like something like that. Suppose you want to again come back to whiteboard, you can explain through whiteboard here. To write something. Suppose you have a touch screen here, you can write with your own, as a stylus or a hand, etc. You can wonderfully do that. And the best part is, it's having its own built-in recording tool itself. In the latest versions, it's still simpler, very, very easy, and you can make wonderful things. Using this kind of tools, you better record your lectures. Suppose you say that, no, sir, my lectures go beyond PowerPoint. There are other tools like Cam Studio. It's a free tool. Using that tool, whatever you do on the screen, everything can be captured. There are another tool called Camtasia. I don't know if anyone can take that one. It's a screen recording tool, come editing tool. Wonderful tool. Even I have seen this being used in many of the US universities by the teachers, not any IT savvy guys. Camtasia. I do use it. Yeah. CAMPASIS. Camtasia. Of course, telling software is not a big thing, but it will be effective and also it is not so costly. Camtasia is a commercial software, but it's an affordable one. One time buying around 20 to 30K will be there. And if you buy it, it's a lot of things you can do. You can record the lectures and also you can make it into wonderful videos. With a lot of editing can be done. And similarly, there is screen Cascomatic, it's called screen platform. Many tools. And I was told that some tools have been already explained to you in the previous classes. Now, using those tools, you make the video content. Once this video content is there, you have to even think about video transcription. For example, my pronunciation is different. Somebody else's pronunciation is different. We all speak in English in our own language. For example, I speak English in Telugu because my diction is so different. So that's how we speak. So that's the reason you need to better to give kind of a transcription. So give everything. Now in YouTube, you also have an automatically text being generated. So these tools are very important for you as a teacher to start learning. Then this is the quadrant number one. First and foremost thing is a video has to be there in this. And for that, don't ask your system, sir, give me one wonderful whiteboard. And nothing is required. You have a laptop, start with your PowerPoint to start as an initial thing. Once you make a decent this one, then you can ask for more. Then the second quadrant is where you provide other supplemental material like ebooks, illustrations, case studies, presentation. For example, in entomology, something you can ask the students to identify different types of insects and all. You can make the students to collect their insect library from different parts of the country. If there is an entomology course being offered all over the country, you can really wonderfully bring everything and it can become a kind of a repository also. And that will work like a reference material for the subsequent batches of the students. So this is the e-content is an important thing that will fall into the quadrant 2. Wherein you can also give other YouTube videos. For example, I teach a particular concept, and there are other teachers also must have taught in a better way than me. So you can provide these kind of links also in the same portal. The third one is the assessment part, where you can bring a lot of question banks. In fact, I tell you one very wonderful thing. Once you make this question bank and all, creating a question paper is only 2 minutes job for you. That's what I'm doing now. For all my focus participants are there. We're having a final evaluation. Maybe my freshers are there in any fresh batch. This one are there. They will be knowing. I conduct a evaluation test for them at the end of that focus program. Now we developed a wonderful question bank now. I had to conduct a question exam for them. Means it's a matter of 5 minutes for me. I had to enter into my portal, and then I had to simply select 3 questions from chapter 1, 2 questions from chapter 2, 3 questions from chapter 3, etc., etc. I simply write the rules there. That's it. The moment I do it, the questions are randomized. Question choices are randomized, and the worst part is for the student, not for us. Question papers are also randomized. That means no 2 question papers will be alike. Yes.
For all the students, different students.
Yeah. Of course, there will be some overlap. Suppose if there are number of students are more, you can't really help. But but question papers will not be same. This is where very important thing is there. All these things are possible. In fact, even descriptive questions can be made into this mode, by which your tabulation will not be any problem. You simply read the question, read the answer, give 2 marks. Read second question, give 3 marks. Finish it. The moment all questions are evaluated, it will tell you already how many marks have been had, along with your MCQs, etc. That's it. So the question pattern 3 is very important, and then pattern 4 is where you have to think about the activity part from the student, like a discussion forum. You can ask the students to discuss. Let them discuss about, let's say there is a veterinary subject is there. There is a post-mortem of an animal is done. Now you can put that post-mortem video there and provide a discussion forum and ask the students to discuss about it. And the discussion, it can happen over time. It's not happening right then and there. So over time when it happens, a lot of thoughts can be crystallized and they can be augmented. So suppose you ask me a question, I may not have an immediate answer for that. Over time, if I start thinking, I get a better answer. So here exactly you do the same thing here. The discussion forum, you give a lot of time for the students to react. Especially, I use it for business management for students because a lot of case studies are being given to them. So you can ask the case studies being discussed and let them give their own opinions into that. So this is what we do in the discussion forum. So these 4 are very important constituents of a movement. So how to offer MOOC through SWAYAM is like, as I have told you, it's an expression of interest to be done through your university, not as an individual. For example, you cannot do as an individual. Then when you do that, you have to give a proposal with all these things. As you see here, this entire thing, you have to give one sample video, you have to record, wherein you can explain this particular course is meant for the students, and it will have following, concepts, and using this. And then also important thing is how many hours of instruction you will be there, and how many hours of study they have to put in. That's also important. Suppose if you take my course, I had to tell you 60 hours of your time is being required to complete this course. That you have to tell. That's a good thing, good practice to do that. Then the scheduling of the course. Of course, this is SWAYAM is now, they're offering some courses in tune with the academic calendars and all. Then you can tell, if I want to offer this course between August to let's say October. In fact, the SWAYAM courses are a bit longer, more than 12 weeks, 16 weeks. But my personal opinion is beyond 4 to 6 weeks, you can't sustain the interest among the students. I recently offered an NDRI course. It was 2 months course, in fact, on commercial dairy farming. But really, it was very difficult for me to put them onto the board all the time, because they forget after 3 weeks of watching my videos, the 4th week they will have some emergency. Then that entire thing is lost, continuity is lost. So shorter the better it is. That's my opinion. Then you have to give a reading material, self-assessment module, the entire picture, what are the things you are planning. And then the last one is the credit equivalence. If somebody goes through my course, how many credits are we planning to give them? So that entire thing has to be given, then only it will be accepted on the course and all. So these are an assessment evaluation, the entire blueprint has to be given. How many, how we are planning to assess, how many exams you want to conduct. And one more thing is, this file is also having a proctored centers. So if somebody completes a course, if they have to take an exam, so they're asking you go to your nearby centers also, and you go there and take the exam, and then submit the paper there. It can be either a physical, it can be an online one, whatever it is. Because at least it will be ensuring the personal identity of the student. So that way, the evaluation is done. Tomorrow we have to think about it. If we are planning this kind of things, can we make our own, for example, Krida can be asked, the students in and around South India can go to the Krida or Bangalore, IIHR, something like that, and ask them to take the exam on a given day and given day. That we can do. Otherwise, I have still a wilder idea. That is, can we think about our KVKs as the examination centers? Because KVKs are there almost in every district. Suppose if you ask them, at least let them go and write and then upload the lectures. And of course, these are points to be discussed, thought about a lot. I mean, I can't simply say that this is going to be the solution. I can't say that. So, coming to my experiences, I have now around 8 years of experience in, not 8, 7 years of experience in running MOOCs at NAM. Mine is a bit radically different approach. I did not go with any, top technology players and all. We had everything open source methodology. I actually maybe Karan also must have come when you have come. We were actually using Moodle as one of our learning management system. In 2007 itself, we started training the people. That's how your e-courses were born. E-courses were born as on a platform called Moodle platform. Now, what I did is I innovatively used it as a MOOC platform. So in 2015, which will have an online registration, course introduction, online videos, everything. Even videos are embedded. Like you see here, these are all the videos we developed in our lab, in our lab. And even you can see the third picture where a student has uploaded her video as a part of assignment in 2015. Now it may not be looking so exciting. In 2015, she was a professor in Sirsi, in a very remote village, in a remote place in Karnataka. She did this video. We told them, after watching our lectures, now you have to use these techniques to develop your video, and we have to upload. In those days, we don't have really data support, no Wi-Fi, etc. In those days, she did this and she uploaded, and this was actually taken as an assignment, online assignment. And then after that, we evaluated to online, and then we provided the certification. So this is the entire, process of NAM. MOOC process at the NAM platform. And as you see here, I'll show you here. We ran till now 10 books. I'm going to have 11th in the month of October. Till now, we have around 15K registrations, amounting to 7K certifications. Best part is we generate around 54.76 lakhs only through certification process. That to nominal fee. For some time it was 500 rupees, and later on we made it 1,000 rupees with GST, etc. Whatever that kind of things are there. So this money was actually, now we may be getting to use it as a part of our campus fund, so that we can maybe hopefully till now it's not revenue on it. We could not take a part of it there, but our institute supported wonderfully well. So this is MOOC one happened in 2015 December. Till now, this many MOOCs we ran in different subjects of education. You may ask me which subject. We being at NAM, education psychology and digital teaching and teaching excellence. This kind of topics we gave. Very recently, we offered a course for NDRA and commercial dairy farming. Now, as a whole, our methodology was adopted by other institutes like Manage. And the NIP Manage is our neighboring institutes in Hyderabad. And there is one institute called NIPHM, National Institute of Financial Management in Hyderabad, and PJTSU, Telangana Agriculture University. These are they have come to our lab and then they develop their material, and not just that, they also have their MOOC platform as well. These are their own websites using our technology. There's a PJTSU's MOOC platform and NIPHM and Manage. This is the thing, we developed, even other institutes got benefit of it. And this is the picture of NAM. It's not just MOOC certification that we did. Even we started hand-holding courses for others. Suppose tomorrow you want to develop such course and all, probably you can, collaborate with NAM. So as a whole, we have cost around 1.3 crores as of now, and it's still going great guns. Maybe now I'm planning to upgrade my technology a little more, because now we are becoming little on the obsolete path. So my suggestion have been totally out of my mind. You can think about a roadmap. In this, I presented in the last year's VC's conference. I told them, in fact, instead of AUs, it can be our own, institutes. What I try to tell is, we have to identify the courses available for online learning. Not every course can be put into this platform. Let me tell you that. Then, to start right away, BSMA recommends these courses: intellectual property and its management, basic concepts in laboratory techniques, agricultural research and research ethics. This is a very important thing now. I think it's a non-credit course. I think, yeah. These courses, if we can offer as a MOOC, it will be wonderful, and it will be serving to maximum number of students. And the second, once you identify these courses, apart from this, maybe I think my extension friends here, you really can think about a lot, because there are many courses as I have seen, which can be, totally taken into MOOC mode. Once you identify them, then you identify the teachers for that, and then let them make their wonderful, resources for that. What should be the lecture outlines, and then presentations, and then videos you have to develop. Video development, I told you, it can be either done in your universities, or you can come to different places. Like here also, maybe I heard yesterday you had some facility in Hyderabad. We have, my institute, we have a wonderful facility there. That kind of things can be done.
I think these are the compulsory courses which the PG students need to take.
Everyone takes.
Yeah, so that maybe this will be a very good thing. One place it can be offered, and then.
Exactly. No, my suggestion is, let us start small in the beginning. Once we get enough confidence in that, then probably you can take in a big way. Because I have confidence in that, because that's how I did in the beginning. Now that's why I'm telling you, you try to start in this small way, and then over and above that, you can work on that. Then, the third point here is, you have to choose a platform for that, on which you are planning to post these courses. For example, I run my MOOC through my open source Moodle LMS. In fact, that's not meant for MOOC. but I am innovatively, I started using it for MOOC purpose because I have seen whatever that is being offered in Coursera, I'm able to do it through my Moodle. Then why should I really go for a very complicated, technology? Now? So what I did is I used my, traditionally tested platform, and this same thing you also have to decide whether you want to do it on your local MOOC platform. Let's say tomorrow you want to say from your CREDA or IHR or whatever, you want to offer a platform through IHR only, or you want to go for a common platform, you have to decide. So once you decide which technology has to be taken for that you have to decide. Then identify course coordinators and then identify the evaluation pattern. If required, you can think about proctoring centers. Like as I told you, you can ask the students where to go and take the exam. Like I said, KVKs, etc. Then you have to think about how to generate the certificate mechanism also to be done, and you have to go for accreditation with the ABCs, academic type of credits. So this is a picture in that. Yeah, this is the concept framework I'm planning. As I told you, on your left side, they are the institutes who are producing the content. On your right side, there are the same type of institutes who are actually consuming the content. So here you will be both. You will be a producer of the content for some courses, and you will be a consumer of content for some other courses. So that's where you have to match your strengths. Okay, that probably you have to think about it. And suppose let's say your local course is really good course that can be promoted into common MOOC platform. So maybe in the beginning, some of the teachers may not be really putting their heart and mind into that. So those courses first you check whether they are really fit for consumption on a bigger scale. Then you bring it into a common MOOC platform, and then here the final evaluation can be, the certification can be done. So this is the framework I'm planning to suggest for this. You can think about it. If you require, I can show you my website. If do you have it?
Yeah. So we'll break after 5 minutes, 10 minutes. It's a tea break, but you can always ask.
If you have time, I can just quickly show you. Otherwise, okay. Maybe I can go there. I'll go there. I'll go there because I can't really my site. No, I can go there. I can just show my website. Yeah.
लोग फंसे हुए हैं फंसे हुए सामने बैठ रहे
This is our MOOC platform. MOOC platform is only I can say it's 30% of the story. Remaining 70% is also supporting our distance education programs also, and also our existing residential programs. So MOOC is also a part of it. So that means beyond MOOC, as I can tell you. I'll show you my website backend how it looks like. Wherein I run all my online courses.
ये पासवर्ड नहीं है फास्ट पैराग्राफ वो पासवर्ड नहीं है फास्ट पैराग्राफ फर्स्ट सेंटेंस
These are the categories of I get all the analytics here, right? For example, you see here, there is one guy called Ashwatan. He is already online. All over the, especially during my MOOC when it's going on, I will be knowing the complete history of what is happening in my website. Everything can be done into my as well. And this in this site form, I'll just let me show you some of the courses here. So these are the course categories we are having. And right now, 13 MOOCs don't get put by 30, it's only less than that. Yeah. Can do that? Yes, yeah. See, for example, these are the books I have offered for all these years. Everything is there in my, repository. I can take it. For example, in December, I just offered on a digital assessment and evaluation. How to use technology for evaluation, and also it has some basics of evaluation. If I show you here, you see here, these are all. This I use all, like from my announcement. Everything will be part of this, and results also given in that. And these certificates are auto generated. The moment you finish everything and then you pay the fee, then it becomes generatable for you. So I don't have to send a certificate to you, and I'll show you certificate later. So this is an examination. I'll show you later, not immediately. See here, all these videos have been put into this one. For example, principles of I don't know which teacher it is. I can play a video here. Okay. Yeah. So here is the teacher, and this was recorded in our lab. So, yes.
This module on the importance of test and evaluation.
So she's
in this module, we look at the basic principles and achievement.
so like this.
Evaluation, as you know, is an integral part of education.
And here,
It affects the
and you see here after this what
procedures and
we are
outcomes.
a question. After you have seen this, there is a question.
We have seen the types and phases of evaluation. Before we look at the classification and selection of tests, before we look at the classification and selection of tests, you will know the two aspects of the evaluation process: measurement and
The teacher we
testing.
have to set. Yeah, now you see the moment it is finished, based on the 10 minutes of lecture, there is the activity they have to do. If they do it correctly only, they can go to the next part. So this kind of activities we can put into your videos. Not simply putting a video in that. So I'm not answering it here. Once you do this, so after answering it correctly, you can go to the subsequent portion. That can be done. So here, like this, you have to think about a video first. Don't think about these things right at the beginning. Start with a video and then put other learning materials here. For example, presentations, other learning materials. Like this, everything, every topic you can start, posting the content. Like this, every week you can think about, and the finished assignments will be there. Assignment and feedback will be there. You can put an assignment and you can ask the assignment. For example, this is my assignment here. Under this assignment, we asked them to give every week's learnings and then upload it as a document. Now you see here how many people, 1,002 people have uploaded their assignments for a period of time, a week or something like that. And if you want to see that, you can just click onto that and just have a look to that. Like this. This is a different type of job. It's not only assignment. I'm telling you there are many, there are at least 10 to 15 types of assignments are there. This is only one such type of assignment. Okay. So, okay, one last thing. I know I'm running out of time. I'll show you one last thing. Examination, how it looks like. This is only to give you a kind of a feel how it looks when you really go for this kind of activity for your friends, last I want to show you how an examination looks like in this. We can conduct exam. I opened this exam for 24-hour period. during the 24 hours, anyone who logs in and takes the exam for half an hour, the moment you start the exam, it runs for only 30 minutes. And within the 30 minutes, you have to finish the paper. So this is how we have put the paper. Now you can see 757 people should take the exam over a period of, I think we kept around 48 hours. If you want to look into the papers, all papers will come onto your, dashboard, and you can see each and every paper, everything. For example, first person you want to see each paper, you can just quickly show the paper also in there. Like this, entire paper you can see when at what time you started, what time you finished, how many are the marks, and all this red ones are the wrong ones, and the green ones are the right ones, and you can see this entire thing. You see these questions, all the even matching following, and every answer will also have its own feedback. So this is all automatically done. I don't really have to bother with it. I bring the question back. That's all. Then things will happen automatically back. But one time affair, you have to really work hard to develop such kind of questions, which cannot be Googled out now and which cannot be ChatGPT now. ChatGPT is a god. You have to really take care of that and then do it. So this kind of things are all there in our system. In fact, we also have a descriptive test. I think for the amount of time I'm not showing you that. So thank you.
Thank you.
Maybe-
And we can discuss during the tea break.
Yeah.
All questions can be discussed. Kindly assemble in 15 minutes. You come back by 11:30 because our next speaker is already waiting. Okay, Samantha. Rounded.